This might look like ordinary crispy pork belly, but in Tainan, Taiwan, this version takes the dish in a completely different direction. It combines traditional Cantonese roasting techniques with bold Vietnamese-inspired flavors, and the result is a piece of pork with 3 completely different textures in one bite. The skin turns unbelievably crisp, the middle stays rich and tender, while the lean meat underneath remains juicy and naturally sweet. But the process starts long before it touches the fire. The chef uses fresh local pork belly with a carefully balanced fat-to-meat ratio. After thoroughly cleaning it, the skin is covered with tiny holes. These openings help the skin expand during roasting, creating that signature crunchy crust. Then the lean side is scored with deeper cuts, allowing the marinade to penetrate deep into the meat without cutting through the skin. And this is where things get interesting. Instead of relying on a traditional Cantonese spice rub, the shop uses a Southeast Asian-style marinade made with lemongrass, lime leaves, garlic, sugar, and plenty of fish sauce. The mixture is worked into every cut and left to marinate, giving the pork a savory, aromatic flavor that is completely different from ordinary roast pork. Once the marinade has done its job, the pork is hung over a fruitwood charcoal oven. The slow heat gradually renders out excess fat while the wood smoke adds a subtle roasted aroma. But don't think it's ready yet. The chef carefully controls the temperature so the meat cooks through without burning the skin. And just when you think you've seen the whole process, there's another trick. The skin is lightly brushed with lemon juice before the pork goes back into the oven for another slow roast. That extra step helps build even more flavor before the final transformation. Now comes the moment that makes this pork truly special. The partially roasted pork is transferred into a much hotter oven. The sudden blast of heat forces the skin to puff up and become beautifully golden and crisp, while the remaining fat renders away. When the surface starts sizzling and crackling, the roast is finally ready. And look at that cross-section. The skin is thin and crunchy, the middle is soft and rich, and the lean meat underneath is still moist and flavorful. But this shop has 2 completely different ways to enjoy it. The first is simple. Slice the roast into thick pieces and serve it with dipping sauce. The moment you bite through the skin, you get that satisfying crack, followed by tender, juicy pork underneath. The second version takes things in a completely different direction. The pork is chopped into small pieces, stuffed into a crusty French-style baguette, and topped with homemade pickled radish and fresh cucumber. The tangy vegetables cut through the richness of the pork, creating a combination that's crunchy, juicy, savory, and refreshing all at once. And that's what makes this Tainan specialty so memorable. It isn't simply Cantonese roast pork, and it isn't simply Vietnamese-inspired food. It's a clever combination of 2 culinary traditions transformed through careful preparation, charcoal roasting, and precise heat. Sometimes the most unforgettable street food isn't about expensive ingredients. It's about taking familiar flavors, adding a local twist, and knowing exactly how to turn them into something people can't stop coming back for.